How long gone? We're back from vacation. You can all stop slitting your wrists. The salve you need is back in your podcast application. Jason, you're finally back from your journey throughout many different countries. How bad do you feel physically right now?
I don't feel terrible. First of all, hey guys, what's up? How are you?
Good.
I have like a pounding in my head, or I have like a head congestion. Like I'm not sick. I don't feel bad at all, but I feel like my brain and head area is like full of stuff that needs to be scraped out.
my head area.
Yeah, my head area. I feel like
My
I need to
head
get
area.
one of. You know how sometimes on Instagram stories you'll see girls getting sculpting massages in their stomach area.
Yeah, you want that.
I need one of those, but for my cranium.
That's honestly, there's probably a business there. There's probably something there.
No, that's a real thing that exists.
A head massage? I know a head massage exists, but I don't know if there's a lymphatic drainage.
But I mean a specific one for what I'm talking. Ooh, brainage. Well, I mean, I think mostly I'll have to so I need to drain the main brainage, bruh. But like there's a lot of people out there listening who are actively using Ozempic right now, and then the baby fat in their face that keeps them from looking vulturous.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep that fat kind of alive.
Yeah, you got to shape it,
pumping in there. So I think I can just get one of those Ozempic facial sculpting massages, and it'll probably help drain my brain.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, we'll look into that. But I'm glad you're back. I am in
so
London.
Glad.
I'm in London, and I can't wait to be back either. It's been an action-packed trip filled with mostly rain. So it's kind of pushed me to the edge, if I'm being honest. And luckily yesterday it broke, but there was 5 days straight of kind of all day pissing, which puts Chris in a little bit of a mood.
Yeah, because you like to walk about. See the city lights.
And luckily we were able to walk about with our trusty umbrellas and still get soaked, which is the British way. But I went to Kevin Morby Open for the National like the day we got here, and I was like amped to go. I've never seen the National. I love them. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to take a train for an hour and stand outside in the rain for 2 hours. This isn't really kind of what I was looking to do. But I've managed to make it through. So
you did do it.
Yeah, I've actually been extremely active. We went to Wimbledon. I saw the Killers at the O2. I'm going to see George launch his label tonight if I can stay up late enough. So it's been an action packed trip.
I miss Georgie.
The Killers at O2 was one of the best things I've ever seen, and I don't want to bore you with it, but it was like
no. I'd like to. Well, it's viral and hot and trending right now because of the whole they played
football,
Mr. Brightside when what do they call it over there? It's coming home.
It's coming home. Well, they
yeah.
So Shad and Liam went the night before, and they're like, "Holy shit!" They opened with Mr. Brightside. I wonder if they'll do that for you, and then they did. So I think they're doing that every night, which is extremely cool.
I had a follow-up question. When they open with Mr. Brightside, do they play it again at the end, or
nope.
they only?
No. They open with it, and I've never. It's probably the loudest I've ever heard a concert or like an arena. Like the amount of, because it was sold out O2 and everybody knows every word to that song.
Damn. So it was like Fred Again levels.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Fred Again, but good. It was crazy. But like, even if you don't like them, which I understand, people think they're corny or whatever, but like, there's just nobody kind of putting on a show like that at that level where it's like Brandon Flowers is saying some corny, like pre-rehearsed shit, but it's just so dialed, and the songs are so good and they sound so good that it's kind of undeniable.
Do you have an example of something corny that he would say?
I mean, he gives these like, like in between songs, kind of like, about his mom dying, just shit that I know he's like written down. It's not, you know what I mean? He says the same thing every night,
right.
Which is what you do at that level. I'm not faulting anyone for that, but he's so earnest and so like Utah Mormon American that it's like, it's just almost endearing, because how else could he be, kind of, what I mean? Like how else could he behave?
So even though it's clearly scripted and rehearsed and there's a whole formula and program that he's following, it's done so well that you admire it, where it's like, and that's when, and and they're gonna get out of this crazy old town, and this one's called
Yeah, it's
2,
literally
3, 4, and then it just goes
yes.
perfect.
He oscillates between like Morrissey and Bruce Springsteen. You know what I'm saying? In kind of his like vocal, like his accent and stuff. But yeah, it was great, and it was surprisingly easy to get to the O2 on the tube. It was like not that bad it wasn't that big of a slog, which was nice and surprising. Because we talked about this because in LA going to any arena is a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare.
Yeah, parking's only 140.
Yeah, we got parking.
And then you got to pay another 20 for the guy, the crackhead, to guard your car.
Well, you got to pay. Yeah, I never broke 100 for parking. I was trying to, but I think I could get there one day.
You'll be there, mate.
Pray
it's
for
coming
me.
home.
It's coming home.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in. Where did I go? We were all over America. Thanks to everyone who came to all of our shows. They were all very fun.
Well,
they're almost all very fun.
Some are more fun than others, but that's the nature of touring. But
there's always going to be some better than others.
But we're happy to say that the new cities were the best, I would say, and hopefully we can keep that excitement going when we come back.
Nothing like some new pussy, you know what I mean? Yeah, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Washington D.C. Those were new cities added to our roster, and both of them were very great. Very nice people, very good vibes. It was nice talking to everyone and meeting everyone. But yeah, our schedule was a little intense, and I was definitely pooped, but we made it, bro.
We made it.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I was in Spain, eating my way through Spain like a fat bastard for the last few days, and I'm definitely home enjoying water and black coffee and things like that.
Sure.
I like Carolyn was like, whenever we go out of town, we're always like, oh, I just want to have like a bowl of white rice type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like just give me some plain food that does not.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
A reservation.
PLAIN. Just for those listening at home.
Yeah. PLAIN. And I was craving like carrot sticks. Just
wow.
like a really nice carrot stick. No dipper necessary. No salsa verde. No hummus.
So you're going Mr. Ed mode.
Let me crunch.
Yeah.
So I went to the market. I picked up some local carrots, and I plan to skin them and dice them into some chompables today, and I'll just be kind of nipping at those throughout the afternoon as I fire up my laptop to edit this podcast.
Not chompables.
I'd like to order from your chompables menu, please.
Do you guys have a chompables section, or is it just what I see here?
Yeah, actually, speaking of chompables, it reminds me of that nice photo of RFK chomping on a barbecued dog. That's not going to help the campaign.
I like it,
or it might.
I think it could. I think that it's going so bad for everyone else that maybe eating a grilled dog, Francis Mallman style, is not the worst thing that could happen.
Mallman style?
Dude, RFK's got bread. Mallman could have prepared that. He could be just all out of frame. We don't know.
He's like, look, Francis is a friend. Hey, we got him out to the house. And
speaking of gout, yeah, but I think that
what he does with he'll get the summer squash and he'll hang those over the coals. And then just not a full grown, but maybe 2.5-year-old Australian sheephound, just kind of a little light paprika, and just kind of kiss it under the coals for a while.
Do you think that's a dry rub, or do you think that's
he'll do a dry rub on the Alaskan sheephounds? There can be a little. I don't need to tell you, but yeah, you'll do a dry rub at first, and then of course, as it's kind of coming around the ninth hole, then he'll start basting it with sauces.
Okay, that's good to know. We weren't there, but it's nice to have an expert that can kind of put us there.
Going off a context
clues. That picture, honestly, that picture is pretty insane, and it kind of came and went because George Clooney is telling us that Joe Biden needs to not run.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when news gets this crazy, you just see stuff and it goes so fast, and you're like, that's kind of insane. This guy that's running for president, who's a Kennedy, was like eating a dog, a barbecued dog, and no one except the Daily Mail talked about it that much. Like that's
It's
so
not really
crazy.
that. I mean, obviously eating a dog is not super.
It's frowned upon here in America.
I guess it's frowned upon, but it really is not that big of a deal, I suppose. You know, it's.
I mean, I think
we
that.
have a lot of dogs. I love my dog. I'm not going to eat it, but comes down to it.
Well, I don't. I mean, if you were on PCP, you look like a carrot stick. No one's safe over at that household. but yeah, I mean, I agree. But I think that the news cycle is getting. I mean, but remember when like Trump's son, killed like the endangered species. That was like a story for weeks because there was less going on. This is arguably worse than that, or at least equal to that, I would say.
Yeah, and then RFK's like, I didn't kill this dog. I'm just
exactly
having it for my fourth course. You fucking.
I've found the dog. It's found. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I killed it and I've been dry aging it in my house for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I have time to do that. I bought the dog dead. You guys can fucking chill.
I love news.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of food tourism and traveling around Barcelona and San Sebastian, where a bunch of 16-year-olds from Orange County and London will come to eat pizza and smash burgers.
I'm seeing a lot.
You know,
I'm seeing that Barcelona, like the locals are like protesting tourism because it's gotten so out of hand.
Yeah.
And once
there's a
again,
lot
Jason
of
Stewart's part of the
graffiti.
problem. Once again, on the front lines.
Yeah, well, they're not talking about me, right, guys?
Of course not.
I'm a traveler, not a tourist. I'm a traveler, right?
I just showed up with this
I can speak
backpack.
Espanol.
I just showed up with this backpack. This is my culture.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Luckily, I was in transit on those days where they were. I mean, they weren't really doing that much. So I think like if you can kind of see like much like a wildlife film where you see the herd.
Yes.
And you see a couple that are standing out, and you're like, oh, these are clearly the gazelle that the tigers are going to capture. Like, it's not that hard to tell. And the same thing when I'm walking around, I have some kind of darker features, a European nose and eyes. So when they see the guy,
I love your generosity to yourself. But go ahead, please.
What do you mean? I'm not saying like I'm super hot. I'm just saying I have like dark eyes and a big nose. Some people like that, some people don't. But I'm not like the guy who's wearing like the 2-lane polo shirt and
that's true. Yeah, you're not wearing your Auburn Tigers Under Armour shorts with your Skechers and white socks.
I'm not wearing my Brandy cardigan and saying "Hola, what's good here?"
Hola. So you guys,
those are the people that are getting sprayed with the super soaker full of beast.
Y'all just smash the tomatoes into the bread and that's the whole dish. That okay? I mean, I guess I'll try it.
This squid is so good. And then they just they quietly put it in a napkin and then spit it into their purse, kind of thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was good. I feel like, I mean, I was reading your GQ newsletter, which I feel like it did a very good job. It was some good growth and maturity for your hating writing, where you're offering a solution to a problem instead of complaining about it. So good job. I really liked that. Well done.
Thank you.
Everyone should go give that a read, but I think it made me realize that, yes, when during the summertime, peak traveling months, there's a lot of great places. You could stand in the place where you live and go to many great places that are a 3-hour drive, a 2-hour flight, and they don't require passport control, and you don't have to go through customs lines, and you don't have to, a zillion other things. And then when it's time to do your international travel, you're going in October, March, I'll go to Barcelona when it's not the peak, and then that'll be fine. Because otherwise it's impossible to enjoy because you're just so surrounded by like we went to the beach in San Sebastian, a beautiful city with a beautiful beach. It's like a rich surf community, food and wine and eating, and it's right up my alley. But you're sitting on the beach, and there's just 28,000 people on the beach with you, and you're just crammed in like sardines. The sardines are better over there, of course, but you're still crammed in them. There's there's pickpockets everywhere, and police are all over the place, and you see some titties, but is it worth it? I don't know.
I mean, that's isn't that life's biggest question?
Mostly, yes.
Jesus Christ. Well, look, it's good to be back. And
Carolyn.
I
left the door open.
It's good to be back, and
I'm still talking on the pod. We're just doing our intro, so
it's good. It's good to be back. I've London. I'm hitting my limit, so it's coming to an end, which is nice. And then
it's coming home.
I mean, I also want to shout out to a friend of the show, Gabe and Missy, for setting us up at Rita's dinner. I put together a big group dinner of all the people that were in town, and I felt like a real puppeteer because Katie Waxahachie was here doing a BBC session. Eben is here shooting a Marvel movie, and I'm happy to put them together. Wow. You know what I mean? It felt like a meeting of the minds.
You're a real Hans Oberst the way you're be curating, right?
the way I be curating, bro, you gotta stay with me.
That is a nice collection of people, and also, yeah, I miss you guys over at Rita's. I miss those little mini martinis.
It was delicious. No, Shad and Liam came. It was a good crew. But yeah, how long gone? We're back in the saddle. Don't worry. Your best friend is here. And we have a great podcast today with John. Who has written several books and screenplays and films, et cetera, and he's a real good time podcast guest.
Yeah, he's also just a very good chatter, good sense of humor. He's done a lot. He's seen a lot. Him and his friend seem to sort of be you and I, just 10 years older in so many ways. Except we don't have many books that have been written under our names and country homes and things like that. But that's what the 10 years is for. I got to start writing books now.
I think it's more than 10 years to give us some time. I don't want to age John, but I'm gonna guess it's more like 15.
Okay.
But yeah, his books are great.
If you want to nitpick, yeah, go for it.
He's got some legendary stories from the music business and the kind of the heyday of the 90s, which is right down my street. But let's give John
and we have and we'll be potting in a couple days, and then we'll do a full catch up of Chris and I.
Yeah.
Just to make of our travels and tales and whining and complaining, lots of things to do.
Also London, August 9th. Bush Hall tickets are on sale now. We'll post about it on Instagram, but get those tickets. We're lining up a guest as we speak, and then we'll also see you at Newport Folk Festival, baby, with our boy MJ Linderman, and also a big special guest that we cannot announce. A Colorado resident who is doing MSG in the near future is going to join us as well. So it's going to be a real murderer's row up there in Rhode Island.
Yeah, and the Newport Folk, I think, is sold out, but then the show that we're doing is on that Thursday night. And are the tickets available now? Yeah,
tickets are available for our show. It's a night show. You can buy the tickets separately. Newport Folk Festival is one of those festivals that sells out before the lineup is announced because it's a cultural moment, kind of like the way teenagers go to Coachella without knowing if Billie Eilish is playing or not. So also just quickly before we go, if you guys haven't seen Billie Eilish on Chicken Shop Day in her outfit, please go look at it. It's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen.
Yeah, she dresses like Daewon Song now.
Yeah, she looks like
a very meticulous street skater.
FTP Osiris t-shirt with the bandana under the fitted is just, it really is Daewon Song. All right.
Her nollie inward varial hard flip is fucking gnarly, bro.
I thought she was Alien Workshop, but I guess she switched it up. How long gone? Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you later this week.
Talk to you on Monday.
My wife insists that I am at a force field that fucks up all technology.
Have the Russian government hired you yet, John?
Sadly not. I could use that extra income stream, buddy. I'm there for them.
I'm here for you, brothers.
Russia, if you're listening.
John, thank you for joining us. This is our first podcast back from a little holiday, so it's very exciting because you and I are in the same time zone. Jason's in beautiful Los Angeles, where he belongs.
Oh, you still in London?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm here, baby. I was here for the big win last night. I watched it from my hotel room.
Oh, you watched it alone?
Yeah. Look, I don't.
Probably for the best.
I don't drink, so there's not much. Like, what am I going to do at the pub?
He also doesn't know a single player on the team, and neither do I, to be fair.
Yeah, that's
well. We all find ourselves parking our cars in the same garage there, my friends. I know nothing about foot. I don't do team sports. I don't get it. You putting your fate in the hands of 11 other mutants. Why the fuck would you do? Tennis, I get. Golf, I get. Those are the real sports.
You only trust. Okay. You only trust yourself.
Exactly so. Also, I'm Scottish, so technically I should hate England and want them to lose. Yeah, but I can't do it. I've lived down London in the southeast for like 30 years now. My wife's English, and also I'm the least patriotic person. And the whole William Wallace shit doesn't work for me. So I kind of I'll root for England, but I don't really give a fuck.
You don't really give a fuck,
but people
really do.
People down here are starting to lose. Oh, they're losing their minds now, dude. They're losing their minds.
It's funny because every British person I talk to is like, it's been great, but they're going to get their ass kicked by Spain. It's going to be so ugly on Sunday. And I'm like, you guys really are born pessimists.
Oh, yeah. It's not
like just.
It's not the American go team.
No, that's
what, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie over there. Spain, we're a bulletproof team. I don't really know what you guys are going to do over there. But quick question: you said you're not a footballer. You in your Twitter bio, it says "shameful dad," which I understand that it makes sense to all of us. But then the second line, Strath Carnage FC.
Okay,
and FC usually means football club.
Yeah, let me speak to that.
Could I get an explanation on that one, please?
Clear it up, John.
Whenever you get some racist maniac coming at you on Twitter in the UK, in their bio it always says "proud dad" and then the name of some fucking football club every time. proud dad, Millwall FC. So I got shameful dad and Strathcarnage. It's a completely made up football team. So
okay. I had a feeling. I wasn't familiar with Strathcarnage's offensive line, but I like it when you're a dad that's pro dad.
It's been a rough season for Strathcarnage. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, condolences to the lot of them.
I was reading today that when England loses, cases of domestic violence go up by 40%.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Which is really a crazy figure.
I didn't know you guys still did that over there.
You know that? I don't know if you know that photograph. It's almost like a meme in the UK of an England flag, an England fan bent over in the street,
yes,
with his trousers on, and he's got a flare up his anus, which is exploding. No.
Yeah,
that's basically the whole fucking country at this point. The entire country.
Yeah,
anus flare.
So he's bent over and he's got we'll call it a Roman candle shooting out of his ass. It's not going into his ass. His ass is just a tripod where it's shooting out of. Just to be clear,
a launching mechanism for the
a launching mechanism. Yeah, it's an audio-based podcast, so I just want to be sure.
Gotta paint that picture with words.
What kind of garden are we working with over there? I feel like I see some garden.
It's a beautiful day here, which we haven't many. See some of it up there. Can you see some of that?
You have a beautiful garden.
It's a big garden. I don't do anything to it. We have Brian, the gardener, comes and does his thing, and we got the builders. we got what do you guys call it? Construction workers in it with some wall collapse. But I'm not good with it. My wife Charlotte, God bless her, you look at these guys and they come and they do work and they'll come up and try and talk to you about the work they'll do. They'll go, we just got to pour 14 tons of rough cast into that, and then we'll try part with this the Druckle hammer. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you talking to me? What's going on here? Yeah.
I'm paying you to not hear this stuff.
But you don't. When they're telling that to me, I pretend like I know exactly every word they're saying. Like, you're gonna do a 14 gauge, rebar on that one.
Yeah,
okay, if you say so.
Yeah. Did you see Strathcarnage the other night? Fucking what again?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
fucking hell. Huh?
I don't.
Bit of weather we're getting.
I can't even fake it. Within 2 seconds of that speech, I just go like rainbow pinwheel eyes, kind of frozen Macintosh.
No, I understand. Yeah. I don't pretend. In fact, I avoid them. I leave town if anything like that is going on, so I don't have to possibly encounter that.
If it weren't for the fucking kids, I'd do the same thing. And
we all three here kind of look like regular fellas, you know what I mean? But I don't know anything about anything manly really, which is a problem and a gift, I would say.
I could come across as a horny-handed son of the soil, but inside it's basically John Waters. You know?
Yeah.
What's happening here? And the thing is,
wow, water's on the inside.
the level of everyday sexism that still exists, because these guys will always seek me out. And as soon as I go, you have to talk to Charlotte, you can fucking see their minds explode. The guy doesn't want to talk about pouring the rebarb. I have to talk to his fucking wife. And I'm like,
yeah.
Charlotte loves this shit. She will listen to you and give you a detailed response. I'm already gone. You know, I checked out 5 minutes ago. I checked out before you started, my friend.
Yeah. When the truck hit the driveway, I turned off.
Call me when it's time to pick out the curtain colors, you say, right?
Okay. If I increase your fee, can I stop fucking listening now? I don't know if you guys you're old enough to remember like traveling the country before GPS.
A little bit, yes. Yeah, a little bit. We're in our early 40s.
Traveling the city, not traveling the world.
Even when I first started going to LA regularly, which is about 15, 20 years ago, you were still in the land of maps and shit. Or when I was in a band and you're going from town to town, we're back in my late teens, early 20s, you have to ask fucking directions.
Yeah.
And you'd ask 3 people, right? Because one of them is going to be insane, one of them is going to be a tourist, and one of them might actually know where you have to go. But as soon as somebody gets past the second direction, my mind just switch, So you go left up there, then you take a right, and then you got to go right again. Auto shut off. Done. Let memory capacity.
You can go one step.
I am also terrible at directions and can't even follow a map when it's digital. So when it's telling me exactly where to go, I have a tough time.
You guys are fucking pussies, man. Come on. And also, speaking of the 3, asking 3, it's very good when you're getting a little construction bid. They always say get 3 quotes and pick the middle one.
Oh yeah.
Just an aside for our fellow homeowner listeners going on right now. But
just if you could sit through 3 of those conversations.
Speaking of John Waters, that reminded me of a tweet that you faved recently that said homosexuality should be compulsory for 2 years, like national service. And I thought that was a great idea. And
it's a great idea.
Do you have a personal connection to that ideology in a way that you'd like to explain furthermore?
Again, I can do no better than whatever enrages the sort of right-wing Brexiteers who come at you regularly.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm down with that. Not so much to even agree with the other side. I just like annoying these fucks on the front.
That's honestly that would be a great idea. I would love to see some like young Republicans forced to kind of suck dick. It's like like when they call back the K-pop stars and they have to go to war after they're already famous. It's like that is so crazy.
Or
to
Elvis.
Think about. Yeah, or Elvis. Exactly.
They should combine the two. You're in the army, your hair's all shaved off, you're in uniform, and you're chugging a lot of cock for 2 years.
I mean, the army.
You've never been in better shape.
Yeah, the army is very homoerotic. The army is very homoerotic. It does make sense.
I'm in the shape of my life.
You're away from.
I'm seeing a lot.
You're away from your loved ones. Nobody really has to know. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like this a lot.
Chris, you've done a little. I was thinking a little more surface level, but you've gone deeper. But I think I like to think that the sentiment of that tweet sort of transcends simple cock chugging and moves more into to quote Morrissey. It takes strength to be gentle and kind, to just have a sweet side to you that a lot of these people need, cock chugging or not.
I see you, Morrissey. We hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
loud and clear.
Embrace the sensitive side of your nature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anytime I can relate to some Morrissey, is a good time for me. I know he's had a tough run of it, but thank you, Jason.
It will ironically get you more pussy at the end of the day. And moving on this nice gay lane, I wanted to ask you about your experience in the 90s rave scene over there on that side of the pond, because it's something that I enjoy and I was not really a part of.
The crazy days of early 90s rave.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of when I kind of started in the music industry. My cousin had a shop selling dance singles in Glasgow, and then he decided you look at these tiny little labels, and back then you could put out a piece of vinyl and sell like 7,000 copies of some independent release. It was
Sure.
and you could do 3 or 4 of them a month. It was this was before there was suddenly more people making records than there were fucking buying them. It was like change around the midnight. But for a little window there,
Good old days.
that's kind of how I got started. But it was it was a heady time that would kill me now to even think about it. How we used to live. It was
But also what you just said. Sorry to interrupt. We're living in a time now where more people are making records than buying them, and you said that as a joke, but it's also kind of true.
Yeah,
and I never really thought about that or realized that.
It's never been easier, right? Pity the guys who
It's too easy. It's too easy.
the guys who invested their life savings in opening recording studios around 1995, 96. But nobody. Well, okay, quite an interesting story. This. So when I started at London Records, which is like a major record company, it was part of Polygram then. It's been around 94. With these American dudes come in to talk to us about how the internet was going to change our business in the future. And this is like 1994. And it's the days of dial-up, it would take you fucking 45 minutes to get your naked photo of Pamela Anderson or whatever the fuck you're downloading.
Sure. Worth it.
I'm trying to jerk off here. It's fucking, what's going on? So these guys come in, they're going, yeah.
I'll jerk off tomorrow.
You're going to be able, kids are going to download the music from the internet and they'll do it, they'll do it anywhere they like. They'll be in train stations, on a plane, you'll be, and we're going, I went, where are the wires going to go? They're going to be terminals like everywhere and you can just plug in. And this guy's going, no, there won't be any wires. It's not going to be wireless. And we kind of look at each other going, this fucking guy's insane. And I said, so get the music and then it comes out of your computer on a CD and you print the artwork off of your printer and then the guys go, no, there won't be any artwork, won't be any CD. The kids, but what are you going to have? It'll just be on the computer. So how will you listen to it? Like just through the computer. We're going, crazy. So these guys were looking for $50,000. They were doing a sort of venture capital thing to fund some internet startups. We sent them out of our office with a fucking boot on the arse and abuse ringing in their ears. We later found out one of the companies that were involved in setting up was called Yahoo. much later, over redundancy drinks, we figured out that if we'd taken that $50,000 and put it into Yahoo in '94, rather than making the second menswear album, you'd be sitting here right now, guys, talking to an empty screen because I'd be in the Caribbean, water skiing behind a dolphin while whipping my fucking cocaine dwarf.
Yeah.
It was
that's kind of how I feel about like AI and stuff. When people talk to me about it, I just glaze over and I'm like, I don't care. This is fucking stupid. But I also know that it's impending whether I like it or not. But that's because I have the internet is proof of that, kind of. You were on the front lines.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same, Chris. Whenever you see those videos like Elon fucking Musk's post of like what's called Optimus Prime, the fucking giant robot bounding around the factory, I just scroll past that quickly because I'm like, that dude's going to be smashing in my front door in about 15 years and buggering me in front of the while robbing everything.
I don't need to.
Skynet.
I don't need to watch it on Twitter. I agree. It's my impending doom. I don't need to preview.
Hopefully, I'll be so old by the time that happens. I can't even fight back. It'll just kill me pretty quickly. It's going to be more trouble for the kids.
Get it over with.
Yeah,
get it over with.
The kids can hopefully
efficiency.
I feel like those stories, though, everyone should have some of those. If I only did this, then my life would have been different. It gives you some good.
When I tell my son, my eldest son is now 28, and I tell him that story, and he looks at me like, you fucking retard. During the greatest financial gold rush of a generation, I was in the corner with a fucking dunces hat on, chewing a piece of straw, trying to catch a cup in a ball.
You have a 28-year-old son?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was young. Thank you, Chris. I
thought you were going to go with 18, and then you hit me with the 28. I was just surprised.
No.
Yeah.
He's my retirement plan. So he's working the last few years for MC Saatchi. He does kind of Jerry Maguire is my best reference point for what he does. He hooks sports teams and stuff up with brands, but he's just been. I can say this. It's definitely happening. He's just going to work for Formula One now. He's going off to F1 to be like brand.
That's where all the money is, baby.
So, dudes, if you're into that shit, we can hit some heavy VIP packages up. If you want to eat some lobster and drink champagne for Excite.
Yeah, I could be into that.
The idea of hitting the paddock.
I can see that.
Yeah, I just don't. I've watched the TV show. And I liked it for a little while, but then it was like, this is the same thing every time. These nerds get in their heads and they lose, and they want to fire them, but they can't. It's just the same story over and over for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
But going sounds fun.
It's a bit like, what's the golf one that was fun at first, and it's just the same, the Full Swing.
Oh, yeah. Full Swing.
But the big point eventually, the Full Swing, where you do get addicted, is all the fucking wives. Wives are all fucking there. They're like wags on crack, and I love seeing that every house looks like a fucking branch of Soho House.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's Dean Street Townhouse, Dean Street, in Florida.
Dean Street Townhouse rebuilt in the Florida Key, rebuilt in Jupiter.
But it's cool. It's cool because they all live in the same place. And what I didn't realize is like how out of shape and also drunk and rich they are. Like they're just on private planes, like drinking Miller Lights, and that's cool. That unfortunately, that's cool. Like to still be considered a professional athlete and live like that is you figured out something.
The hardcore punk rock guy, you would like to decry it, but you're thinking, I want to be on the Gulf Stream. Raking myself on
do you play golf? Because you brought it up a couple of times. Are you nasty on the links?
I'm not as good. I'm getting old. I'm not. I lose you lose the power as you start to get into a little older. When your kid starts out driving you, that's like getting a telegram from the mortuary. So you're done. We're gonna be seeing you soon, buddy.
Okay, so you're saying you've lost power. So you've been playing for a long. So at one point you were scratch level, and now you're blaming your aging. Okay.
No, never quite scratched. Down to around single. I was almost single figure player at one point, like 9-10 handicap. Okay. But the thing is, in Scotland, like everyone plays golf. It's not like in most countries it's like an upper middle class sport. In Scotland, there's really cheap public courses everywhere, and my school, everyone played golf. It wasn't like an elitist thing, Like my dad, we were a working class family, but my dad played golf. Everybody played golf. Especially it drives me crazy in LA because I haven't managed to get a good country club hookup ever. Because no execs who I work with or people my age group play golf. They look at you, you're fucking crazy. So you wind up the first time I played up in a Griffith Park at Wilson or Harding in LA. I mean, 6 fucking hours. You get partnered up with these 95-year-old Korean dudes who, I'm lining up a putt in the first green, and this guy's phone starts ringing in his bag, and I look at him as if, what the fuck? I says, you get your head smashed in Scotland, and he runs over. I think to turn the phone off. He takes the call and starts having a screaming match in Korean with some other fuck. And I'm trying to putt here. I couldn't fucking believe it. And so a younger American guy, I went, what the fuck is this? And he went, dude, that's how they roll here, It's like it's really old Korean guys, or it's the bros, a couple of bros who are out blazing 6-pack of beers and the thing, I was playing once, and these guys are really playing slowly in front, and I could smell the reefer just fucking wafting back. And finally, I went up to complain, and these guys, they both look like really, can you imagine 2 really unsuccessful versions of Benny Blanco?
Okay.
They're both, in the leisure wear, and they're fucking blazing weeds. And this guy goes to me, hey, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. He goes to me, hey, how you doing? I'm Mercedes, and up in the cart there's my boy Plush.
That's the most LA shit of all time. That really, I know that's true. I know that's true.
In the cart there's my boy Plush. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Well, you fucking get a move on.
At that point, you can't even be mad. You're just like, what planet am I on?
No. I've just banked this anecdote for life. I cannot stay mad at you.
It's worth it. Well, look,
Mercedes,
If you need
You're good,
if you need a connection to Trump to play his course in LA, there's plenty of people we know who could kind of set you up over there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, that's not a joke. Is the problem?
Trump, annoyingly, Trump bought. We've got a place in Ireland. We go in the summer, and my Trump bought the course right next to it, so I can't play there anymore. And he bought another course in Scotland, really close to where I've got. My mom lives in Scotland. I can't play there anymore.
Because he owns a shitload of golf courses, right? Like that's like actually something.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew there was a few, but
the ones in Scotland lose an incredible amount of money. The last time a friend of mine won, he went in and they're serving like the $40 mac and cheese for lunch. There's like 2 people in the dining room that would sit 800. I'm like, yeah, somebody's losing money here.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, they're lost leaders.
Primarily the Russian government.
You go to Ireland in the summer. What happens in the summer?
Well, we're in County Clare. It's actually my ex-wife's family place. But it's like right on the ocean, about as far southwest in Ireland as you can go.
Wait, hold on. You still have access to this, but is your ex-wife's family?
Yeah. We get on. Yeah, she lives like a mile up the road. We all get on good. Everybody's good.
Well, that's very modern of you.
Never marry someone you wouldn't be equally divorced from, Chris. Yeah, we go.
He's got to keep that retirement plan good too, you know. But I agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Exactly so. So no, you have to get lucky. But thing is, we get 2 small kids, and they're both like the mom, very pale skin, like fucking milk bottles. So come August, we can't really go much further south than the south. Even the south of France gets crazy hot now in August. So yeah, you get lucky in Ireland. It's fantastic. The beaches are gorgeous. You get the odd rainy day where you're locked inside. It's like a fucking episode of Father Ted. It's getting a bit crazy, But when the weather's good, it's good.
No, it seems beautiful. I've never been to the country, but it looks amazing.
Yeah. There's bits there down there. It's gorgeous. Somebody, yeah. And also when you get little kids, taking those. I mean, we take the kids to LA once or twice a year, and that fucking flight with 2 little kids, that's a lot to take.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for adults.
Anywhere you could just pack them in the fucking people carrier and say, "Here's a video. Shut the fuck up, and we'll let you out when we get there." That's good.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So you like LA? You like LA? That's cool.
Oh no, I like it. My wife loves it. So we had a situation for a while with my buddy Tommy Vercola, Norwegian director who did like Dead Snow and Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. He still spent a lot of time in Oslo in a lovely house in sort of Beechwood Canyon up behind the Gelsons in Franklin.
Sure.
Of course.
When he was back here, we'd take his house and sort of thing. So we'd go for nice. 3 or 4 months at a stretch,
Oh, wow, that Gelson's is basically a character on this fucking podcast. To be honest with you,
oh my God, I love it.
It's come up quite a lot. Jason famously saw Tom York from Radiohead there, which is a great, real fish out of water situation.
That's a good spot, buddy. The only downside to it is you're actually cheaper to eat out. You get in there, you think, I'll just fill the fridge. That'll be $850. What the fuck are you talking?
Yeah, it's pricey and it's normal.
It's the only supermarket that I go to window shop. I just feel nice in there. I don't. But I hope to one day buy my cereal and Windex there. But usually I just sample from the poke bar.
The only thing in LA, I really have to moderate the Scottish accent. I go into my sort of stupid transatlantic twang because I just get bored with not being understood. Whereas I've got some Scottish, but Irvin Welsh, my buddy forever, when he's there, Irvin doesn't moderate his Scottish accent 1 iota. So you'll stand next to him and bar, 2 pints of lager, a couple of whiskey, and you're like, I'm sorry, sir. I can't keep going with it and not being understood. So
John,
I was in Gelson.
John, I was concerned today that we might have a hard time understanding you, but luckily it's fine. This was a concern of mine
because I speak this kind of horrible transatlantic jockey where I sort of mangle the. If I was speaking pure where I come from, we'd have a subtitle.
Okay.
Going on. But I was in that Gelson's once, and we're having a dinner party, and I needed to buy Stark cubes to make soup. To make a sauce bake. And I said, in pure Scottish, I said to the girl, "Can you tell me where the stock cubes are?" And she went, "Sorry?" And the stock cubes. And she goes, "Sir, we don't carry that item." And I went, "The stock cubes?" And she went, "Oh, the stock cubes are right over here." No, it was To me, it doesn't sound that different. But just that fucking vowel sound in the Scottish.
Yeah, it does.
But also, nobody in LA buys stock cubes, so it's not a popular item. If you said the coconut water, then she would know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I was making 5 liters of soup. I'm not shelling out for the goop fucking bone broth. At fucking $18 for 500 mils.
Not an insult. Not an insult. Some of us do it from scratch. Some of us don't. It's not a big deal.
You got the beef bones in there at 7 a.m. getting the demi-glace reduced.
Oh wow, okay. So you know your food. You've done some food writing as well, yeah? Or do you still do a bit of that?
Dude, we have 12 people coming for dinner tonight. I'm about to, as soon as I get off this podcast, I gotta get in that kitchen and wreck myself.
What's on the menu this evening then?
Yeah,
John?
what's the menu?
Okay, here's the thing. It's the school parents, so it's like the best one in the world. It's fucking civilians, and we got some dietary requirements. There's a gluten-free and there's a no red meat and all this bullshit. So they're getting fucking chicken. I'm gonna roast a few chickens, herbed up, lemon, what have you. They can have that, and Charlotte's doing some salads, and we'll do whatever. But I made a huge pot of salsa verde. There's nothing that salsa verde won't elevate, right?
I agree.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard that. I didn't.
Jason's nodding. Chris looks like I'm back speaking Scottish.
I like.
No, the salsa verde, big man. Come on, you got to have salsa verde.
I like salsa verde. I just didn't know it was a fix-all for. Can you put it on like steak?
To be clear, in Chris's version of salsa verde is probably like something that he would dip tortilla chips into at a Mexican restaurant. And I think you're talking about the salsa verde that's more like an herbal pesto kind of vibe.
Yes.
That you would
it
would work beautifully on any piece of on pretty much anything.
Yeah, I'll have it on fish, steak, chicken, whatever.
Thank you, Jason, because that's exactly what I was confused about, and I'm glad we cleared that up.
And John, we're using a mortar and pestle for that salsa verde, I'm assuming, or are we doing it?
Because I wasn't up at 4 a.m. to do that. I used the food processor.
Okay.
So you're a cheater.
If that's cheating, yeah, mark me up. I love it in the podcast. I love it in the podcast when you guys get into food, because Chris is so like my friend Alan, and his very rigid and also seemingly arbitrary rules about food. There's certain things you will not eat, certain entire food genres you disapprove of. I love those. I'll obviously eat anything.
Yeah.
I love the rich culture and history of India, but their food just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what to tell you.
Again, my friend Alan, he went, I'm sorry, it's fucking dog food. It's spicy dog food. No matter what it is, what type, I don't care if we're going to Jim Cat in Mayfair or we're going to whatever, it's dog food.
Yeah.
Is your friend Alan, is his phobia scent based as well, like Chris's, or his aversion?
He doesn't like sloppy, overly liquid foods. He doesn't like sort of mush foods. He doesn't.
This is great. This is great.
He got a new kitchen put in recently, and I'm round there and I'm going, where's your extractor fan? And he goes, I'm not going to, why the fuck do I need that? What do I do? Heat up some soup now and again, or go to a restaurant like a civilized person.
Yeah.
This is his.
Damn, Alan's got it. Wow. Alan's got it figured out. I hope he's rich and good looking.
He does okay, but you should have him on. He's got some very strong views. You guys can go an hour on food.
We love strong views.
Yeah.
We love strong views.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to have friends like us, because I'm also very open to learning from you know what I mean? I still want to know what he's talking about, even if it's not something I'm going to personally participate in.
He'll take a bite.
I'll take it. Yeah. I'll try it, especially if you make it. Then it's a different story.
But you guys have to eat out together a lot, I guess, right? Especially when you're traveling with the show.
We do.
Yeah, that's kind of the only reason we do it, to be honest, is because we get to go. We just got done, and we had some pretty good meals, Jason, I would say.
We basically just travel around the world, stay at the Four Seasons, and do Caesar salad sampling, and don't turn a profit. all of our revenue gets dumped back into Caesar salads and shrimp cocktails.
It's research.
Yeah, my favorite part of the meal, whenever Chris and I go out to eat, we sit down, martini, vodka, extra cold, don't even open the menu. And then when Chris says, just water for me, and then the look on the server's face, then I'll know how the rest of the meal is going to go. And that's usually my favorite part.
There's nothing I love more than saying tap water at restaurants. Like, bottled water at restaurants is one of the most expensive scams that has been hoisted upon us. hoisted upon us, and we deal with it. And it's like, I'm not paying $12 for a bottle of Fiji. I drink too much water. Like, it's going to cost me $100. Like, I can't do that.
Bring me the tap.
Yeah, you can't cheat a cheater.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I thought tap's also quite chic, isn't it? But, it's like, people are saying, I don't need your fancy bottled water to look good. Gwyneth's not ordering the bottled water. Gwyneth's going
That's me. Right? John, you get me. I'm a salt of the earth guy. I'll drink water out of the fountain. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? It's nothing for me.
I think Gwyneth's tap is a little different. It's activated.
Yeah, got the goop.
Yeah, actually,
Her tap is a $15,000 filter.
The goop filter.
Yeah, it runs through some type of crystal clitoris that was harvested from a different planet, but it does come out of a tap.
A seahorse's hymen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it trickles through a seahorse's hymen. It changes the pH level slightly, and the results speak for themselves. I was just in San Sebastian, and we checked into the hotel.
And that's some good eating.
It is some good eating. I'm still recovering. We'll get into that shortly, but when the bellhop brings your luggage up to the room, and a little sort of insisting on the tip, and like, oh, please let me show you how to use your hotel room. Light switches, and you can shit in the toilet, and windows you can see outside. And he was like, and just to let you know, and he goes to the bathroom and turns the sink on. He's like, you could drink the tap water from here. And we were like, okay, thank you.
And did you?
No, because they give you free water.
Yeah.
They have bottles of water for free.
Why was that?
But I guess it's different because, like in Mexico or something like that, you'll get a little Montezuma's Revenge.
But I'm a little bit. I'm not saying I'm going to go drink the water out of the tap in Mexico. But there's a little bit of, I think, a stigma attached to stuff like that, where I'd probably be just fine 9 times out of 10. Yeah. Is my guess.
Right.
Is my guess.
Don't let it get into your eyes, but yeah, you'll be fine 9 times out of 10.
A friend of mine once got really bad poison from drinking tap water in Paris, because I think they were made drunk and they made the mistake of using the hot tap, but it was lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
It turns in Paris, it all comes from these tanks in the roof that are inevitably filled with dead pigeons and whatever the fuck, so it's,
Paris is a disgusting place. I'd rather drink the tap water in Mexico than in Paris.
And is there a more expensive hotel city now than Paris? It's fucking crazy. You can get a suite in Rome somewhere for what you're looking at a bog standard toilet in Paris, like $800.
I literally just wrote about this today, about how it's like at a certain point, I'm staying local, baby. Like, let's just like I could, I just don't know if going to Paris for a week, it'll cost you $10,000 if you got a family.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm not a bargain hunter, I wouldn't say, but there's a level of taking the piss that I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
We'll go to Rome,
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, that's on principle. So, go ahead, Chris.
Well, no, I just wanted to hear about what is so good about San Sebastian, food wise.
San Sebastian. I would say the only they prioritize food and eating there. Like they build their life, like Stevie Nicks song. They build their life around food.
Yeah, they're lazy. They're lazy. We know.
It's a different kind of lazy.
We know. They're like Italians, but worse. Standing all day over the paella pot instead of working.
In so many ways, yes, but there's something about how nobody there is obese.
Yeah,
but they eat fried potatoes for breakfast, and you're just eating. You're drinking a cup of olive oil before noon every day. But
I'm about to Google obese Spaniards image search. I guarantee, give me half an hour and I'll dig you up some obese Spaniards. They're out there.
I know they've got a lot of fatties over there, but
tan.
They kind of look
tan.
good. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not wheelchair bound, but they could be thinner. But for as much eating as they do, I would say that the bods look okay.
They're better off. They got a right.
Yeah, I mean, look, no one's fatter than America. Nothing. We do it like nobody else. So there's no comparison there. We've perfected it. We've perfected it.
But I'm a real eater, with a capital E, and I was driven to submission when I was in San Sebastian, because it's just there's not much to do. You go to the beach and it's full of 10,000 punters.
I reckon.
And
Scotland could give
you just eat.
Scotland could give your Midwest to run for its money, my friend. We've got a lot of fucking giant beasts slumbering around up there.
That's true.
The problem, my wife loves to eat really clean. About a year ago, so I mean, what I want in my bones, my blood, my genes, because I'm a Scottish animal, as I crave pies and pastry and baked goods and potato. I crave that shit. I can't have it because the max my weight ever got to, I got to about 230. 225, 30. I mean, for my height, I should sit about 170, 180. I'm not,
Okay.
another talk I love your podcast has been Chris goes, so there's a guy there and he's about 15 to 20 over. Like the sort of Terminator eye from 60 yards. He's 15 to 20 over, 10 to 12 over. So yeah, I generally sit, I'm a 10 to 15 over guy. But I have to really work at it. I have to, my wife pleases me. If I hadn't met Charlotte, dudes, I would be like fucking a deuce and a half. I'd be sitting, you'd be talking 250-pound madman who's eating chips out of the sack.
Your work is sedentary. You know what I mean? You got to sit down all day, and that unfortunately leads to snacking.
There's a lot of that.
This is the life of a gourmand. You have to find peace with it.
And for years, I thought gourmand was just the same as saying gourmet. Oh, it's not. Gourmand is basically a greedy fat bastard. It's like,
it's a very polite way to call a rich person, like say a rich person has gout. Is what I think of it as.
And I have gout. I haven't had. I haven't had an attack in a while, but I'm getting this twinge just yesterday in my left toe, which is a sign of a little attack. And people think it's fucking hilarious. They think you're like Henry VIII. He's got gout. It's fucking agony. I cannot describe. It's like somebody sticks a butcher knife in the joint of your big toe.
Wow. Okay, so gout affects the feet mainly, is what you're telling me? I don't know much about gout, except it's a rich man's disease.
Well, historically, that was the case, but I think now today, when we're looking at the phenomenon,
it's a stereotype, Chris.
I'm sorry.
We've just been talking about the corpulent poor, the modern phenomenon. Now, rich people aren't fat now. You don't get fat rich people. The fuck do you ever meet a fat rich person? The only poor people are fat, dude.
You're right.
But
right.
A good point.
I started suffering from this in my mid-30s, I guess. And thankfully, because I eat a lot better now than I did sort of 15, 20 years ago, it's not so bad. It's quite rare. And certain foods activate it. But I'm not going to not eat shellfish. I'm not going to not eat liver because, I might get an attack of gout.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to not eat liver at the end of the day, which is a bummer because it seems like liver is a healthy thing for you.
Purine,
but I know, like
it's purine rich. But it's Chris's reaction there when I said I get cows to immediately double up in hysterics. That's how everyone reacts because they think, memory, they ate 5 a.m. They just think it's sort of all jolly. Oh, he's got gout. That's so adorable.
I don't wish gout on my enemies. Now that I understand better what gout is, I won't gout shame. I won't gout
Chris,
shame.
I would think of it as like a kidney stone.
Okay.
Not to use a pun for other awful meat, but like my wife, her brother and her dad are both very healthy, in shape people. They go swimming and surfing. They're not fat at all. And they both, if they eat a little too much shellfish or a little too much pork, or shellfish and pork together, it's a damn shame they pair so well together, don't they? A little bit of wine or whiskey at the end, and the gout comes a creeping.
Yeah. And I love pork. I mean, pork would be your desert island meat, right? If you had to have one fucking meat on a desert island forever, it'd be pork.
Really? I didn't know pork was. Is it because it can be prepared so many different ways? Is that, or is it just good?
Because you think about it, it's 3 meats in one. You got the crackling. Then you got the snowy fat, then you got the actual meat. So you get, it's three hits. You're on a desert island.
Yeah, they don't have beef bacon, Chris. You fucking idiot.
I apologize for my ignorance.
It's like not the people who order fillet steak. It's the most boring thing in the fucking world. My friend Alan does it just to drive me crazy. He'll ask for a medium fillet steak in a restaurant. He doesn't even fucking like it. He just knows it enrages me that he's not having a rare ribeye or a rare T-bone.
I like Alan.
Alan's funny.
Well,
Alan's having a good.
He's willing to piss away. He's also this is the most expensive cut you can buy. And he's willing to do that just for the joke. Which
inevitably, I'm picking up the check here. So yeah, he's winning everywhere. He's stinging me for an expensive thing, but he doesn't even fucking like, and that enrages me to witness. It's a triple win.
You and Alan need to start a podcast called How Long Gone Part 2 because it seems like your dynamic is quite aligned with ours. I will often stunt order when Chris is paying.
What does Alan do for a living?
He's a writer now. We both used to work in the music industry together. Yeah,
Okay.
he was creative.
Okay.
He was creative director at Warner Brothers for many years, and now
Okay.
he's a crime writer.
Wow, really?
So we're both from Scotland, and similar age, and yeah. But you'd find him amusing. He is very amusing. But we get into it about.
Yeah.
If you follow both of us on Twitter, sometimes I'll be cooking something, I'll post some pics, and he invariably responds, "That looks like cold sick. What's wrong with you?" We get into it.
Sure,
we get
real time reviews. Writing crime seems like a very timely thing to do. That's like I feel like crime is more popular than ever, but maybe it's just with podcasts.
Crime is up.
Oh, time is up.
No, crime is up.
Oh. I thought you were cutting me off. Time is up. Shut up.
We're done.
Goodbye. No, I often wish I could do, because I write non-genre, non-literary fiction, and that's a tough space, right?
Yes.
Crime is like, I wrote one book that was kind of a thriller, and you get this thing called public lending right, which you get paid a few pennies every time someone borrows your book from a library.
Yeah.
And on that one book, I earn more through that than on any of the other books, because people just go into the library and say, "What crime have you got for me? What new crime? What new thriller do you have?"
Really?
Wow.
So the guys who amass a catalogue of that stuff, and also it sells internationally, it sells everywhere. And there's a whole circuit for it of festivals and, panels, and, it's got its own whole subculture. So it's if I could rewind 20 years, I go, hey,
it's like, sounds like a certain type of porn or anime or something. You just walk in, what do you got? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sight unseen.
Or heavy metal,
Yeah,
it's a genre that I like. I like that shit. Give me whatever you have in that.
What is
space,
you've done some Hollywood stuff. What has been your experience with that?
I like. I do a fair bit of I do the rewriting and script doctoring, as we call it.
Little punch up.
Little punch up. The dialogue punch up is the sweetest of gigs. That's a couple of nice ones of them recently. You can never talk about it too much, because you don't get credit, and you don't want to take credit for just maybe.
You just want to get the money.
You just want to get.
I
want to get paid and hit the bricks. That's exactly it. But it's fun. I mean, it's art by committee, which has its frustrations, and I'm just finishing a long project just now that's kind of been complicated, but fun. There's always a lot of notes. Well, it's fun, you go off and write a novel, you get to play God, you do what you like, and an editor might discuss, as Nabokov said, an editor will discuss a comma with you as though it were a point of art, which it often is. Whereas in Hollywood, you're like, I hate this fucking character, I hate this whole subplot, get rid of lose that, change that. It's like, you got to have a pretty thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Writing a novel's a bit like it's kind of lonely. Stephen King said writing a novel is like crossing the Atlantic in a bathtub. It's a long sort of lonely haul, Whereas working in a movie, you meet the producer, you meet the director, you meet the actors. It's kind of like being a cop. You go to the cop shop and you eat donuts with other cops, rather than sitting in your little sort of private eye office figuring it all out on your own. You kind of, get to hang out with those.
So do you go somewhere or you work at home?
I'm in the place of my work now. Now and again, if we're on a deadline and something, we've got a house in Scotland that I'll go to and sort of do some work there.
Sure, stare at the ocean.
Well, we get two little kids running around here, and even though I'm in my own room and it's all closed off, you can hear sometimes it reaches a certain pitch of intensity, and so you're like, okay, I gotta go and fucking get involved in that. So yeah, no, before the pandemic, I'd say I'd come to LA 3 or 4 times a year, but now everyone's so used to doing everything over Zoom, that I'll come once or twice, because we love going, because we love being there. We're close to moving at one point. We didn't quite pull the trigger on it. Yeah, we're there for 4 months. I was doing a dialogue punch up, and we got our kid into that. Our daughter Alexandra was maybe 3 at the time. We got into preschool down. It's right near the 101 coffee shop, down there, just off Franklin.
Yeah.
Just before you. And then they had a gun drill. We're like, what? No, she doesn't know what a fucking gun is. She's British.
That's true. She's known for stabbing, but no guns.
A knife drill, I'll do.
Yeah, and she's small. She can run. She's not running a knife. Not running a bullet. what we like to do is we go down, before we dropped you off, we go and park at the 101, have a cup of coffee and an omelette, whatever, and then we'd walk the little stroller across and go down through the underpass. And then over the course of the summer, the underpass gradually became a gigantic bum encampment to the point where you couldn't walk down either sidewalk.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I lived right there I lived in Beechwood during that time, and I never walked there once, and that's brave of you, and I'm glad that you attempted it.
I know, I am, I'm a Scottish socialist liberal guy, and I was thinking, there's people got to be somewhere. But when it reaches, I can't actually walk, we can't get to where I need to go because we gotta do something here. Oh, it's bad.
It's all blocked off. It's not going to get better either.
I thought you were going to say you lived in the actual bum encampment, Chris. I thought it was this back in the Oxy days.
No. Luckily, the no matter how many Oxys I did, I still never learned how to pitch a tent. So I'm safe from that kind of. I'm safe from that.
My inherent John Watersness saved me from the true.
Yes, it really did. It saved me.
I could check into a hotel.
Yeah, I would not fare very well on the streets. I think Jason can attest to that.
I've seen him drag a mattress. It ain't pretty.
Jason, you're like 6'10". You'd be okay in the street. No one's going to fuck with you, surely.
No, he's weak though.
I'm a target. I'm a target because
exactly.
I don't necessarily look like a scrapper on the streets. And you could see me from 10 kilometers away. I'm just saying, hey,
yeah, you can see me come
rob me, please.
Please.
With little guys, you can do the thing where you put your hand on top of their head and they start swinging. But with the stronger guys, it doesn't work as well.
And they're all on crack and whatever. It's not a fair fight.
Yeah, crack. I mean, crack is known for giving kind of superhuman strength. Yeah, that's true.
PCP.
Take a bite out of the kneecap.
Exactly.
It's not good.
They really do some fucking damage.
I saw down there one morning a guy getting out of a tent. We're driving by, and he had on like chinos and a white shirt. I mean, he looked like he was getting ready to march through fucking Charlottesville, let alone be a bum. He's getting out of this tent, and he's got a computer bag over his shoulder. And I said to my wife, I went, "Did you see that? Did I imagine that?" She went, "No." So I had a meeting that day at my manager's office down Century City, and I said, I saw this fucking guy getting out of tent. And I swear to God, this guy was not a bum. He might have been fucking full MAGA, but he was not a bum.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "This happens." He goes, "People who come here and they want to work in the industry and they maybe doing an internship where they're getting paid 20, 30. He goes, "They can't. You could live in LA on $20,000 if you have no rent to pay." So he goes, he said, "They sleep in cars. They'll tend to up for like maybe 6 months to see if they can crack it and get promoted, get a job."
Hollywood ain't that good. I ain't sleeping on the street to get somebody's mail at William Morris.
To go and get shouted at all day with some fucking lunatic sort of junior, fucking agent. No.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually wild. I mean, I'm not surprised though. The thirst is real.
I thought for a second it could be a good sitcom in this. It's basically like Friends, but everyone's living on the fucking streets or sleeping in cars.
Modern.
But in LA, he'll come out of the tent with his shirt tucked in his laptop bag, no home, but he'll still buy a $12 latte and acai bowl on the way to the bus station.
That's what's wrong with this fucking generation.
Yeah. We're so close.
I'm sorry, but I think somebody stole the sprouted almonds out of my tent. If somebody could fess up now, we can make this a lot easier.
I mean, if times go tough, I'll be living out of my infrared sauna. Knock on wood. Touch wood that doesn't happen though. I wanted to talk to you. We're going to London in like a month. We have a show in London. At the old Bush Hall, and whenever we even talk about going near London, we get a lot of messages of saying come to Dublin, come to Glasgow.
Oh, you should do Glasgow.
We get a lot of come to Glasgow, and if we ever do that, do you want to do a pod with us?
Oh, love to, guys. I guess that up anytime. Give me a shout. Love to. Where do you guys like to eat in London? Where are you going to be eating?
I'm here right now, and I'm going to. I'm going to the Devonshire tonight, which I've heard much tale about. But we went to Scott's.
Are you
which I love.
Are you connected to Devonshire? Are you VIP'd up there?
Come on. Why would you ask me that? Of course I am. You think I'm going to go to a fucking pub, which I don't even want to go to unless I'm a VIP? It's just, thank you to my friend Ed.
Oh, okay.
He's the VIP, but I'm Ed's guest. So
what's the difference? What's the difference of the two treatments if you don't have VIP?
If you're rocking up to the Dev as a regular fucking civilian, you're drinking beer at a plastic glass 250 yards from the entrance to the pub. It's crazy, you know. If you're getting through the little door behind the bar and into the VIP, you're golden, you know. You're good. Look, you're getting a table inside, you know.
Yeah, we're eating. It's a group of us eating. So if we don't have it, if we have to eat on the street 250 meters away from the door, I'm going to be concerned.
You're good. You're good. Great steak.
Okay, we're good.
By the way, and they got a good system. They do it. It's a £10 per 100 grams, so you can, you know, give you a little kitschy portion if you want, or like me or Jason, you're probably getting in for a full kilo. For £100, that's depends how you want to roll.
So yeah, I mean, I went to Scott's, which I really like. That's like a perfect Chris restaurant, and I'd actually never been there before.
I love Scott's. So the older I get, the more old school one gets in your restaurant taste. So you know the Dover sole at Scott's is just fucking superb.
Alex, my wife we were sitting there, and she was like, "This is really a Chris restaurant." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And she was like, "It's expensive." And you're the youngest person, like we're the youngest people in here. That's the only requirements. And the bread is good. Those are the three things that I need.
You're the youngest non-Russian people here.
That's true. I don't count the Russians. I don't count the Russians.
I think I ate
Jason,
there
I'm sure
one time.
You did. It's like a seafood. Yeah, it's like a seafood. It's
white
good.
tablecloth, little Mr. Chowie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to River Cafe tomorrow.
Oh, that's excellent also. That's excellent. A lot of good fish. Well, I can't eat pasta because the £250 thing, but it's, you know, it's excellent.
Gotta avoid
you know, I gotta avoid that.
Maybe they'll have a kelp noodle supplement for you the next time.
Yeah, you have the gluten-free pasta. Get the fuck out of here, you man.
Right now I'm in Chelsea and I really like it, and everybody's making fun of me, like Sloane Square. I'm like, this is perfect for me. It's just like rich people who don't work that have coffee. It's perfect. There's gyms.
The older I get, give me Mayfair, give me Chelsea, give me. I always be hanging in East London where these fucking guys get a weight hanging off his cock and tattooed to fucking oblivion. I need that for? Fuck you, no.
You're exactly right. What do I need that for? I'm a little younger than you, but I've reached that state already. So I'm glad. I'm happy to be here.
You'll gladly trade that for some Saudi license plates on the Range Rover.
Exactly. I'll take that rather than wondering, does my server have a Prince Albert? I don't want to be. No, I just want to eat the food.
Honestly, the cars in this neighborhood it really is staggering. It really is the craziest in the world. It's like unbelievable.
The odd gold Porsche, the odd sort of purple fluorescent.
But it's like a 19-year-old woman in a full burqa in like a custom Bentley truck. You know, like it's wild.
Whatever way you
how many cars are.
That's a strong look.
Yeah, I agree. It's sick. It's very cool. It's very cool. Yeah. I agree. And
you know, beneath the burqa, head to foot, an agent provocateur.
Oh no! I mean, when they're leaving Harrods with bags all the way out the arms. You know, they're not messing around. They're here for a purpose.
You just unlocked a new kick, John. Well done.
Happy to be on the team, my friend.
No, that's great. John, thank you for joining us on How Long Gone. What's there's a new book, correct?
Oh, nobody cares about that shit.
Paperback.
Yeah. Paperback. Oh, brother. Which is out. It's not out in America, I don't think, till next year, actually. So, you know.
Okay.
My American bros and hoes will have to wait a while.
Okay. No, understood. Understood. We'll wait patiently.
But yeah, what date are you guys doing Bush Hall? Is it
August 9th?
August 9th.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're in town.
Sadly, I'm in the wilds of Ireland. Otherwise, I would have loved to come down, guys. But you should think about that.
We'll see you next time.
Think about it in the provinces, guys. Glasgow is always a fun crowd.
I believe it. No, I've never heard a bad thing. All right, sounds good. Thank you, John. We really appreciate it. It was a blast.
Really good. My wife is so happy I was doing this. She's a huge fan. So
I love that. We love to hear that.
I had to kick her out of the house if she was going to come in and show her face.
I love it. I love it.
Well, next time you guys come to LA, we'll do some dinner.
Oh, I love that.
Great. Good to see you, man. Thanks again.
Great to meet you.
Wonderful.
Appreciate you.
Okay, guys. Enjoy.
We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch.
Nice to meet you. Cheers. Bye, guys. Bye.
It's so easy to laugh. It's so easy to hate. It takes strength to be gentle and kind. Over. It's so easy to laugh, it's so easy to hate. It takes guts to be gentle and kind. Oh.